Okay, so suppose that we have a line and we know two of the points on that line, but we want to find the slope. So we know that the slope is equal to the rise over the run, right? So, which is also equal to the change in y. So I'm going to use this little delta means change. So the change in y over the change in x. So this is a little delta symbol and it just means change. So change in y over change in x, right? That's what the rise is. The rise is how much does it go up or how much does the y change and how much does the x change. So I want to actually take a look at our graph here, and I want to kind of look at what is the rise and what is the run in this situation. So let's start at this point and we want to go over to this point. So the rise is how much we go up. So let's just go ahead and do that. So we went up 1, 2, 3 units up. So I went up 3 units. Up 3 units, right? And then I'm going to the right 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the right, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the right. So I'm going to the right 4 units. So my rise, going back over here, let's see. My rise should be 3, and my run, let's make this better. So my rise is 3 because I went up 3, and my run is 4. So my slope should be 3 over 4. Okay, so because we went up 3 and over 4, right? And then if we keep going up 3 and over 4, we'll still land on this line. So now I want to talk though about how can we make that happen more easily. So if we, say, didn't have our graph sitting here, how could we figure out what is the rise and what is the run between these 2 points? So remember that the rise is the change in y, right? So let's go ahead and look at our y coordinates. So one y coordinate is 2, and the other y coordinate is 5. So the change is from 2 to 5, you have to add 3, right? So up 3. So another way that we can do that is by saying 5 minus 2, right? So that's the difference between these two. 5 minus 2 gives us 3. So that's our up 3. And then to get our over 4, we want to figure out what is the difference, right, between the two y coordinates. So if we look here at our two y coordinates, we go from -3 to +1, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units over, which again is the difference between +1 and -3. It's the difference between those. So this is the slope. So if we wanted to write a general formula for that, the way that we typically see people do it is we call this point x1, comma y1, and that just means the first xy pair. And then we would call this point x2, y2. And then we just kind of put those right into the formula. So if you see the formula here, we would have this comes from this point, so it's y1, 1, minus y2 over And then this 1 comes from here, so that's x1 minus x2. And that is a general formula for slope if you know 2 points. And you can see if we go ahead and calculate it out here, this will give us 5 minus 2 is 3, and 1 minus negative 3, this is plus positive, so 1 plus 3 is 4. And that gives us the same slope that we've always had. So this is the general formula for slope. And it's also important to know that x1 and y1, those are points that go together, and x2, y2, that's a point that goes together, right? That's a coordinate pair, but it doesn't matter if you switch the order. So you could do y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1 as long as these match and these are a point, a single point here, and these are a single point here. So as long as these match up and they correspond to a coordinate pair, then it doesn't matter which order you do it in, you'll get the same answer. And that's the general formula for slope if you know 2 points.